There have been revolutions that are often remembered as violent uprisings or sudden political collapses. However, some of the most transformative revolutions had unfolded quietly through conversations, shared ideas, and public spaces. Between 1500 and 1700, Europe experienced a dramatic intellectual shift known as the Scientific Revolution and the Enlightenment. While these ideas are often associated with famous philosophers, they spread most effectively in an unexpected place, the coffeehouse. Coffeehouses revolutionized European history by creating inclusive public spaces where Enlightenment ideas were spread freely, challenged traditional authority, and ultimately inspired political revolutions such as the French Revolution. For centuries, European society relied on tradition and religious authority. One of the most deeply accepted beliefs was the geocentric theory, which placed the Earth at the center of the universe. In 1543, Copernicus challenged this worldview by proposing the heliocentric theory, arguing that Earth revolved around the Sun. This idea was considered radical because it contradicted both classical science and church teachings.
Copernicus' discovery sparked widespread questioning. If authorities could be wrong about the universe and the heavenly bodies within it, people began questioning whether they were also wrong about politics, religion, and social hierarchy. This shift marked the beginning of the scientific revolution, which emphasized skepticism, observation, and the application of the scientific method to nature. The printing press allowed revolutionary ideas to spread faster and in a larger quantity than ever before. Scientific and philosophical works were printed in local languages, making them accessible to a broader audience, which consisted of those who were literate at the time. One influential thinker during the scientific revolution was Francis Bacon, often referred to as the father of empiricism. In his work Novum Organum, Bacon argued that knowledge should be based on experimentation and evidence, rather than blind acceptance of tradition.
Coffee was originated in Ethiopia, where legend describes a sheep herder discovering the energizing effects of coffee cherries. By the 15th century, coffee was cultivated in Yemen and spread throughout the Islamic world. Coffee houses were emerging in cities such as Mecca and Constantinople, serving as gathering places where people discussed news, religion, and politics. Since alcohol was greatly discouraged, coffee houses became ideal spaces for intellectual discussions. Then, European merchants encountered coffee through the trade with the Ottoman Empire. By the early 17th century, coffee houses appeared in Venice, London, Paris, and Vienna, quickly becoming social institutions. These ideas encouraged debate, but Europeans needed a place to exchange them. Coffee houses soon filled that role.
Unlike universities or salons, coffee houses welcomed people from different social classes, encouraging diverse perspectives. Philosophers, merchants, scientists, and writers debated ideas about government, science, and individual rights. In London, the Grecian Coffee House attracted members of the Royal Society, while Lloyd's Coffee House evolved into the foundation of Lloyd's of London. In Paris, cafes such as Café Procope drew Enlightenment thinkers like Voltaire and Rousseau, whose ideas challenged monarchy and absolutism. European coffee houses became centers of intellectual exchange, known as penny universities. They offered newspapers, pamphlets, and discussion for the price of a single cup.
The influence of coffee houses extended directly into political revolutions. In France, cafes became meeting places where citizens discussed Enlightenment ideas about liberty, equality, and popular sovereignty. Pamphlets criticizing the monarchy were often read aloud and debated in coffee houses, allowing revolutionary ideas to spread beyond the elite. These discussions helped mobilize public opinion and contributed to the outbreak of the French Revolution in 1789. Similarly, in England, coffee houses encouraged political debate about parliamentary power. In the American colonies, coffee houses became organizing centers after the Boston Tea Party, when coffee replaced tea as a symbol of resistance.
A key primary source from this period is Francis Bacon's Novum Organum, published in 1620, which promoted experimentation over tradition. Another important primary source is The Spectre, a newspaper by Joseph Addison and Richard Steele. First published in 1711, it had been designed to be read and debated in coffee houses. It shaped the public's opinion on politics and social behavior, which is how Enlightenment ideas had been able to spread out throughout most of Europe.
The coffeehouse revolution transformed European society by turning private thought into public debate. In contrast to alcohol, which impairs judgment, coffee kept patrons awake and mentally engaged. Faced with either coffee, alcohol, or the polluted water of England, coffee was the safest option. This heightened mental clarity helped fuel long discussions, debates, and the rapid exchange of ideas that defined Enlightenment coffeehouses. By creating spaces where ideas could be freely exchanged, coffeehouses helped fuel the scientific revolution, the Enlightenment, and the French Revolution.
They proved that lasting change does not always begin on battlefields or in palaces, but often in public spaces where people are free to think, speak, and challenge authority, revolutionizing a society.
Matt, can I get that coffee to go?
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Why don't you make your friend some coffee?
You want to go get some coffee with me?
Coffee beans.
Sumatran beans.
I'm finishing my coffee.
Coffee? For me?